Alright guys, welcome to the Kanye Task Force, where we sit here and defend Kanye for about 20 minutes, however long this video lasts. Nah bro, I'm getting the burger in frame. Sponsored by Shake Shack.
Shut the fuck up, I will fucking laser you with alien fucking eyes and explode your fucking head.
So recently Kanye got on Joe Rogan's podcast, and Joe Rogan interviewed him on presidency, and Kanye also gave a brief breakdown, by brief I mean about like 2-hour breakdown, on his mental health and how his personal life is going. So here's some of the highlights, in case you missed it. Damn it, I said I was gonna fucking call it in case you missed it. So before people watch this, you should be aware that Kanye refers to God a lot. So, I don't. Is anybody triggered by Christianity anymore?
I mean, what do you mean triggered? Like,
Stop talking about the Bible.
Alright, well, in case you're the type of person who's triggered by religion and organized crime, then you should probably stay away from this video. People told Kanye that he should run for governor of California before he ran for presidency, and honestly, I didn't know that it was that easy to just be a celebrity and be like, hey, I want to be the governor of California. Who gives a shit about this place anyways? Governor Kanye 2024? Look, as long as people know that as soon as Kanye runs for anything, that's free Yeezys, so I'm there. All he has to say is free Yeezys and I'm there. And I'm not sorry.
I would have voted if it was.
Kanye has a quote, "There wouldn't be a better time to put a visionary in the captain's chair." Kanye lists his qualities as president, including empathy, listening, and feeling the entire species. He refers to himself as a leader, not a president or a boss, which is pretty standard stuff for anybody who wants to be a leader to do. Is like, I'm not a boss, I'm a leader. And it's like, then you would have given us the free Yeezys if we voted for you. I think he has a decent point. We do need a visionary in the chair right now. At the same time, that's a bit of the same reasoning as why Trump's elected in the first place. It's because people thought that his smooth talking and willingness to be unpolitical was, some sort of symbolism for a second coming, which I do believe he referred to himself as the second coming of Christ or something.
He compares himself to, like, he's not as, like, he's near like that, like he's close to it, but he's not gonna be as good as God, but he's like trying to be.
But he's like the next thing.
Yeah, it's trying to, yeah.
So it's like Trump, throat. No, it's God, throat, and then Trump. It's in that order, like descending. All right, dope. Warning. What's the word? It's not triggered, but at the same time it is triggered. The R word is going to be used, so you might want to skip ahead if that's not. Yeah, so Kanye has a Kanye has a quote saying that music artists are being raped in the music industry, and he compares what's happening to music artists' contracts to being raped.
I kind of agreed with it.
I see what he means.
Not like, yeah. Like I get the term. I use it for sports wise. Like if you're getting messed up in a game and like by a lot, damn, he's getting raped. But like in today's culture, we can't just throw the word out now. But I get.
It's gonna be another thing that Kanye says, that it wasn't done with as much tact as he could have, and I see what he means in terms of people are getting robbed, for everything that they own, for their natural state. Somebody's coming in and they're taking something away from them against their own will. At the same time, there's still a bit of a dehumanization, I guess, or something like really innately traumatizing about rape more than getting something taken away from you. It's a feeling that's left over in your body that you don't really get rid of, and you can't really speak on that unless you have been raped. So whether or not people are gonna use this against him, I'm not too sure. This is just in case you missed it. But yeah, he used that quote. Some people agree and some people also agree that that wasn't the right word to use, but that's up for you to decide. Kanye acknowledges the system is created to keep poor people poor and rich people rich, says this is the fall of Rome. I'm glad that as a celebrity, he's able to look down from his status as a billionaire and say, hey, you know, the system that made me so wealthy, which is why you should praise me, is the reason, you know, it's keeping you guys poor. I don't know if he's going to do anything with that knowledge. I mean, in the same token, he's a billionaire, and it's the same system that made him a billionaire is the same system that's keeping us poor. So he essentially said, you know, the system that made me in power to run for presidency is going to keep you guys poor. There's a little bit of a difference between acknowledging it and doing something about it. But we'll see where that goes from there when he wins the election in 2024. Because honorable men honor money, which is a quote that Kanye got from Dave Chappelle. I think that's pretty ABC, golden rule, kindergarten, but at the same time, in case that's not something you knew, there you go. There's your Twitter quote from the day from Kanye West / Dave Chappelle. Joe Rogan's comment on Kanye tapping into a different source. Kanye explaining he thinks in 3D, in the third dimension. As far as the mentality that people with mental health think on a different spectrum and give them superpowers, I think that's something that's incredibly uplifting, but at the same time, it's something that we should honestly also keep in control. You don't want to go around giving people the idea that because they have a mental health issue, you know, that means it should go unchecked.
It's shut the fuck up.
There's a lot of self-inflicting issues that comes with the idea of looking at mental illness as I'm thinking in 3D. But at the same time, you guys should all go check out some reports on other places in the world having schizophrenia and then using it as they have positive voices with their schizophrenia. I believe in Africa and India, their community is so close-knit together that the voices they hear in their schizophrenia are positive voices. So maybe if we had a different outlook, then you could be right. We'd be thinking in 3D. That's not up for me to decide. I'm just a guy with a YouTube channel that's barely started. Working on something called a Plan A. It's a Plan A orphanage, and the concept is to destigmatize orphans and create a better environment in the system for them as well. I think that's a really no. I think that's an incredibly noble idea. I don't know about that.
Right? I don't know about the A thing, bro.
Destigmatize orphans, dude.
What?
It just sounds funny. No.
If anybody has any history or involvement or experience with the foster care system, then you do know that it's incredibly flawed. So I think the idea, I haven't heard a president or a candidate or somebody in a seat of power say, hey, let's go help the orphans. So I think that part's dope. It's just the fucking name. It's just, that's what makes it sound kind of so like, I don't know about like backhanded or facetious, like Plan A, the orphans. If Plan A is safe sex like a condom or pulling out, and then Plan B, which is taking the pill, and if that doesn't work, then you would have a little dumpster baby, you know, premarital that you didn't really want. So then wouldn't that be Plan C to put it in an orphanage?
How would that work?
No,
then that gives the person an idea, like, I don't have to worry about taking care of a kid. I can just fuck whoever I want.
Yeah, they could be like a standard anime dad. They just be
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're into anime, vote for Kanye. You're gonna have a strong kid that never had a dad.
Kanye goes in depth over Star Wars prequels and says that George's baby for kids was to show the hero's journey, which if anything just proves that Star Wars is a kid's movie.
Yeah.
Are you filming?
Yeah, you can walk through it. No, yeah.
We could just edit it out.
No, I'm leaving it in. It's content.
Kanye calls himself out on going off on tangents and riffs. Based on this listening, it sounds like Kanye is of able mind, but he struggles to find out his trust with people, and he puts all of that in God. What the fuck did I just say? He just calls himself out on going off on tangents and riffs, which is something people really thought he was an asshole for. I don't know why. If anything, it just sounds like he has ADHD. But I mean, shit, who doesn't? Kanye talks about COVID holding him back from registering as president. He also mentions that he had a mild case of an illness. Do you think that celebs are being diagnosed with COVID in private? Like here's a small dose of COVID and then heal from that? Or do you think, I don't know, I'm just like, how are these people who are never around people in the first place getting COVID?
I mean, they are around a lot of people, kind
Oh,
of.
Kanye has like a house on top of a hill.
Yeah, but he has a lot of people that work behind the scenes that are around there a lot.
Figure one of those guys would wear a mask. Bro, COVID don't stop the crime. It just stops a few poor people's lives, that's all. Kanye notes how some of his clothing designs come from biblical descriptions of Jesus, the direct quote being, "Jesus wore seamless garments." Now that everybody has the reasoning behind some of the designs of Yeezy, like the clothing designs and the choices, we can stop calling them homeless. Is that blasphemous?
Kind of.
See, if it was based off of...
Why aren't you in the video?
Wait, he's coming. So if he was making stylistic choices based off of the clothes back then that's understandable. But I mean, if he specifically like, this is what Jesus wore, is that blasphemy? And I don't want to put this out into the ether like that's what he said. That's not what he said. But I have the personal question.
Like, it's not bad to look up to Jesus, but
Is it good?
but to like admit.
Well, I brought it back to the Bible.
No,
saying,
bro, you gotta come over here.
Should I turn the camera?
No, bro, this is
isn't it,
content.
When Jesus died, he didn't want any images of him.
Nah, come here. You gotta say that. That's a bar.
Like relative, or like any, yeah.
She's saying that Jesus didn't want any replicas of him after his death. So the idea of Kanye making clothes based off of his style choices or image, Kanye breaks down that the North was the people to come up with the 3/5 compromise. So they had just as much of a hand as the South in the systematic oppression of slaves, and just as big of a hand in the current position that black people are in America today. And then he goes on just a little bit of a critique on the left-wing side, which were some fair critiques. Kanye says he has a chance to win and will definitely win the election in 2024. He alluded to possibly joining the left wing or the Democrats in the past, but him and Joe Rogan both agreed that they wouldn't go for that because they wouldn't be able to control him. He also goes on to say that between Trump and Bernie, that Bernie would definitely win the election, and compares Bernie to a superhero as well. So does that mean that Bernie Sanders has a mental health disorder if he's a superhero? You gotta read between the lines, people. The world was designed to keep us sick. Spatial engineering based off of faith can save the world.
Now this was wild.
Yeah. At first I'm like, spatial engineering, but then as he began to break it down, he talked about not space like, where rich people are going in 10 years, but space like the space. Go ahead and tip the camera. The space around you, man. In the 3D environment, man. Like you can reach out. This is 3D, so you have to control this space around you, but not your you. You're you. Remember when Mr. Miyagi said karate no here, but karate somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's not the physical you, but the
spirit.
you inside of you.
The spiritual you? Or something.
And that's how space and time works. Bernie Sanders has a mental illness. Kanye said it first. Don't believe the hype. The idea of controlling the space around you, it's just some more. I don't know if that's really deep or not. But no, the idea of keeping good company around you and making sure your environment is something you thrive in, and not something that holds you back. Again, I don't know if that's really an unknown thing or not, but the practice is certainly underdeveloped and underutilized. That sounds like one of those things where, I don't know, during this interview, I feel like he was talking to rich people, not poor people.
What I learned from this interview is that compared to his incidents over Twitter, his rants, he is kind of bipolar. But I feel like he's calmed now, kind of, and more focused than compared to how he was all over the place, just saying a lot of stuff over the years. But I feel like he's really serious about this shit, which is kind of scary because it's a lot. Like, you're trying to be the president, you're trying to also make a utopia for the world while getting your favorite people out of music contracts and also trying to raise a family. It's like there's no sleep. He really believes, when he was talking about him being the leader of the free world, he really believes if everybody just stopped seeing people based off of their skin and just based off of people's I don't know how to say energies, that's kind of corny, but based off of people's who not even looking oh, he's black, why does black have to be in front of everything he was referred to? Why can't it just be I'm the 47th richest person, not I'm the first or the third black or whatever billionaire or whatever he was saying, not third but whatever number he said. But I feel like Joe Rogan didn't talk enough in that interview, which is fine, because Kanye does go on a lot of rants, and I kind of respected Joe Rogan to only I respect him for allowing Kanye to express himself fully instead of trying to ask questions for him to stumble upon, besides the military one, because the military question did fuck him up. The other question you talked about, Marvin, was his science versus religion. How does he put it together? Because it doesn't science neglect religion kind of way.
That's for the most part, yeah. I think it does.
I thought it was interesting how Kanye is he's how little kids are. You know how little kids want to know about everything, but they don't care about what people think. It's that's what Kanye's been carrying basically a lot. And I noticed he still has that childlike mentality. He acts like a kid when he talks about things he loves, and he doesn't care what people have to say about it. And I felt it was interesting when he was talking about his shoes, even though they're ugly as fuck. But
yeah,
he was talking about his shoe.
Ergonomic.
Yeah.
Can you tell the audience what ergonomic means off the top of your head?
No.
Because I don't think
I don't know. I don't know what he was talking about, bro. Obviously when he talked about him playing the game that he does with the dictionary, I believed him when he kept saying big ass words. I'm
ergonomic is just one of those words. You throw in whatever, and it's gonna sound good no matter what.
Ergonomics. I started ergonomics.
Iced out wrist looking ergonomic. We'll be like, ooh, okay.
Bars, bro.
What are you gonna do if he wins?
What am I gonna do if he wins? I don't know, man. I still don't want to live in this country. It's a lot. Kanye on, we already talked about it. The Plan A thing. It's the name is bad. But the concept is okay, I understand. But I still feel like niggas is just gonna freely just nutting anybody and not give a fuck.
It's the Plan C or Plan D or something.
And I found it interesting when Joe was really trying to ask him what did they give him, and Kanye didn't didn't say it, and he was saying how he had to delete the picture where he took. Yeah. I felt that was kind of weird. Then Joe Rogan was why didn't you just work out every day or something like that, or yeah, and I was bro.
He was if I was your doctor.
It was if I was your doctor, I would just tell you to work out.
Oh my god.
And stay in shape.
Have you working out, man?
Yeah.
Have you lifting weights every day? Smoking weed, working out.
Oh my god. Yeah, I just thought that was it. when Kanye was the questions that Joe asked Kanye, and then Kanye sometimes would say, "If I had all this information right in front of me, I would have the best answers with the best people to give."
So if I had everything, oh yeah, that was great.
And I was like, okay. I don't know how I feel about that. It's like, what if you don't find it? What if you still can't figure it out? Then what? Like,
It's not gonna happen. He's the most successful person he knows, man. it's facts.
His ego still takes part of everything. I don't think we're getting any more music from him though. I feel like this is it. I feel like I do. I feel like it's it. Like based off the stuff he's doing and focusing, and still and when he brushed up upon him trying to actually buy Universal, I thought that was a little tough because that's very expensive. Him owning a record label. If he actually owned a record label, what artists would actually follow him under that? You know, because everyone has an ego. And a lot of people don't like Kanye. Well, don't like his. If he successfully bought a record label, would he be like the savior of record labels that everyone would try to go to, rather than getting hoed in the industry? That was interesting. I don't know if he'll do it because Universal is really expensive. But for him to actually fight for something like that right now is like, if he would have been a billionaire earlier, would he still tackle on these ideas in the music industry? You know, like if he was a billionaire when he first created good music, would they still be together now if he was tackling the issues back then, rather than all separating? You know, I just found that was interesting. Like, you become a billionaire now, you want to tackle all the issues that we've all been yelling for hella long. But now you're rich. Now you, I mean, I don't know if he couldn't like afford it to talk about her. I don't know, but I just found that interesting. But yeah, I don't know what's next, but I was kind of when I was watching the interview, I thought it was gonna. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. I thought it was gonna be a little, Kanye moment sometimes. I didn't know it was gonna be him being calm and him actually being cool with Joe Rogan, which was kind of interesting combination to have. And I find it odd that Charlamagne reached out to Ye and they haven't done the interview.
I mean, I think I would.
I like that.
Joe Rogan
Yeah.
before I went to Charlamagne. I mean, Joe Rogan doesn't really even care about all. He gets it. He knows that this stuff is bullshit. He knows that the media likes to twist things. He even talked about it with he was talking about how Kanye was talking about slavery as a choice.
Oh yeah, and he knew what he meant by you're being slavery, like how we chose to do it like an 9 to 5 job rather than.
Joe Rogan is probably just a better interviewer.
Yeah, because Joe Rogan will let you express yourself rather than trying to like find something to clickbait on. All right, thank you for watching and listening to the Melanin Pals. We will drop more content. I know we're gonna drop more content. Thank you for watching. Follow us on our socials in the link in the description. Subscribe, like, share.
And this Donda is basically my version of like a cyber, extension of my brain. Like, here's something that I'm thinking of that you can't touch, but we need to bring it into fruition. We need to manifest it.